Okay, today I'm going to do a pasta recipe. Pasta recipe is always great for flats. This one is going to be a very simple, very tasty, very unique sort of thing, and it's got minimal ingredients, minimal number of ingredients. It all comes together really quick as well. This is Cacio E pepe. So it is basically pasta and pepper. And that's pretty much it. A very important addition of Pecorino Romano cheese. You could use Parmesan as well. They're both quite expensive, but make sure you use a real block like this and grate it up. You're using quite a bit of it, and it will seem like a whole lot of cheese, but it all comes into it. And we're just going to add a bit of olive oil in and a bit of butter to emulsify the whole thing, and you'll see this all come together. Starts to look a bit all crazy. Use the pasta water from the pasta making, and a beautiful creamy sauce, really peppery, spicy. It's really, really good. Okay, to start with, we're going to toast some pepper. It'll kind of provide the base in olive oil. And to do that, we need 90 mils of olive oil and a couple of teaspoons of pepper. And I actually put in more as we go along. The more peppery you like it, the better. Remember that 15 mils of a liquid is the same as 1 tablespoon. So I'm just going to put 90 mils approximately here of olive oil, and then this is super important to make sure you have grounded pepper, finely grinded pepper. I just grind it into a little dish like this and then try to take two teaspoons of it, but it gives it so much nicer taste if it's all been just pre-ground. And then you can make the grounds as big as you like as well. I'll get 2 teaspoons and I'll put that in the pan. Okay, so we've got our pepper here. Here's a couple of teaspoons, 1, 2, and you are going to use more, so it's good to have your pepper all ready to go. And then we'll put the olive oil in. It looks like a lot, but don't worry, you're going to use it fine. And then we're just going to, for a minute, let's say around a minute, just toast that. It'll start to smell really good too. And that is what we're going to put our pasta directly into, and with the butter as well, and then the pasta water, and it'll emulsify into this amazing taste. Just let it all settle in there. Okay, now I'm going to grate the pecorino cheese. This is about 120 grams of pecorino cheese, quite a lot, but wait till you see when it's grated, it's a mound. I'm using a pretty fine grater, but you can use a bit thicker one if you like. It's got to mix in with the pasta and emulsify and kind of dissolve in there, so you don't want it too thick, that's all. So the finer you can get, usually the better. Okay, so this is where it's all going to come together between the pasta and the oil pepper mixture. Everything's going to go in here at the end. We're going to cook the pasta in a very weird way compared to normal pasta. Normally you have a big pot and a lot of boiling water and that put in. We're going to have, look at this. We have that much water go in that pot, and we're going to put a bit of salt. I'll just put a little bit of salt in there just to have it slightly salted. We're going to turn it up high. I'm going to put the pasta in, and the reason why we do this is because we want lots of starch to come out and use that in here to help bind everything together. So it's just going to make all the starch that normally comes out and dilutes a bit in a big pot is going to be very starchy in here. We cook this to about a minute before the amount of time that says on the packet, and then we're going to pull it out with tongs, put it in here, add the cheese. We've got some butter here. In fact, I'm going to put the butter, we've got 60 grams of butter. I'm going to put it in here now, and we're just going to let that melt a little bit because that's going to all be part of it. And then we're going to put extra, I've got that extra pepper still left over, and we're going to put it. So I'll start that all up now, and you'll start to see it all come together. I've got spaghetti here. Any fine pasta like this is good. This one needs 10 minutes, so we're going to put it in for 9. Have a look, the water's boiling now, and I'm just going to lay it in there. And we're going to time it to 10 minutes, or 9 minutes, because we're going to do 1 minute less. And you'll see the starch come up. And just before I put it into the mixture here, and you can look over here and you can see that the butter is slowly melted into this. I just turned it on a little bit, but you'll probably have enough heat just to let the butter melt. When I before I put the pasta in, I'm going to take 4 to 6 tablespoons of water and put it in here. This will help bind it all together as well. Okay, as this cooks, just make sure, especially since there's not enough water, that you just keep it moving so the pasta doesn't all stick together. So just keep it agitate it a bit so you make sure the pasta, but you can see lots of starch coming off. It's nice and dark, which is perfect. Okay, this is about a minute before I want to take it out. I'm going to start transferring some of this pasta water. You can see, look how starchy it is. I'm going to put like 4 to 6. 1, 2, this is tablespoons, 4 to 6 tablespoons. 3, 4, 5, let's say. I've got this on a heat here. I'm going to put it on a super low heat, this one, because I want it just to be warm enough to start melting the cheese and things. But this is going to come out very soon, in about a minute. My alarm's going to go off. It'll be a minute before the recommended time. I'm going to start slowly moving the pasta in here, taking a bit of cheese, mixing around, and if I want, a bit of pepper. Just keep mixing and mixing and mixing in layers, and it will all be good. And then as you're going with this, you can keep adding pasta water, cheese, mixtures. You just kind of balance it off the way you like it. So as you get, it actually all comes together pretty well, and it's pretty forgiving. Okay, so the alarm has gone for my 9 minutes, 1 minute less, and I'm going to start taking this pasta out, mixing it into this mixture, and putting a bit of the cheese in with it. This is all going to slowly melt down. More pasta. Stirring that in. Putting a bit more cheese. I'll put a bit of pepper too, because the peppering taste is so good. A bit more pasta. Mix it in. Mix it around. You can already see it starting to look quite glossy. A bit more cheese. You don't have to use all the cheese or either. You can just use as much as you think. I think it's going to be about the right amount, but you'll be able to see. A bit more cheese. A bit more of this. A bit more pepper. This is pepper. Maybe a bit more pasta water. Let's mix it around again. Let's keep mixing it. You can see the gloss of it. Pasta, you're going to want to get those clumps to all dissolve away. The last of the pasta. A bit more of the cheese. A bit more pepper. You can see mine's going to be a super peppery version of this. Keep mixing it, turning it around, turning it around. You can see how glossy the sauce is getting. And I can turn off this pasta water. Put the last of the pasta in there. More of the cheese, we can save even some at the end. More of the pepper. And now we're just going to mix it around. You can see the pepper in there. You can see the cheese slowly melting into it. You can see how glossy that sauce is getting. It has such a nice peppery, cheesy taste. It's a really amazing combination. Look how glossy that is. I'm going to turn this heat off as well. All the heat are off, all the temperatures are off. The very last of the pepper, mine's going to be so peppery. Everyone in the family will have to suffer that through. And look at that, that's done. That cheese is all melted. That sauce is all melted through it. If it was getting too dry, you put a bit more of the pasta water in. You can see how cheesy and peppery, and it is ready to go. So I've got the pasta here, and then at this point you can throw in a little bit of pepper again if you want. Any leftover cheese you can grate over the top. It's a little bit, the pasta's still a bit al dente, it's glossy, it's really nice, it's such a clean taste. Tastes amazing. Tons of calories. Really, really good. Cat's meowing. She usually hates anything, but she loves cheese right now. So was enough to convert her from being a meatitarian to a vegetarian.